The first question says, the population of a town is 36,400. 23% of the population are aged 18 and under. Work out the number of people in the town aged over 18. So focus is going to be on the people over 18. 36,400 minus 23% of 36,400. This is going to be our equation. And when we solve that, we get 28,028. First, you'll find 23% of 36,400, which will equal to 8,372. So this part over here is equal to 8,372. And when we subtract this from 36,400, we get 28,028. So that is your final answer for this. Part B says, in a village, the ratio of the ages of the population is under 18 to 18 to 60 to over 60, equal to 4:11:5. There are 890 people aged over 60. Work out the total number of people in the village aged 60 and under. So we have 4:11:5. And 890 people are aged over 60. So 890 is over here. So we need to figure out what we multiply to 5 to get 890. So we do 890 divided by 5. And that shows that we're multiplying 178 with 5 to get 890. Which means we're going to multiply 178 with 4 and 11 as well. So times 178. And that is going to give us 1,958. And then 4 times 178, that is going to give us 712. 712, 1958. These are your people who are under 18. This is 18 to 60. They want us to work out the total number of people in the village aged 60 and under, which is going to be the sum of these two. So 1958 plus 712, and that is going to equal 2,670. That is your final answer. 2015, the population of the city was 702,800. In 2020, the population was 678,202. Calculate the percentage decrease in the population from 2015 to 2020. So what the population decrease, for the percentage decrease, we will do 702,800 minus 678,202 divided by 702,800 times 100. That will give us 3.5%. That is your percentage decrease from 2020 to 2015. Then it says the population of the city increased by 12% between 1980 and 2015. Calculate the population of the city in 1980. So in 2015, your population was this. 1980 is what we have to find. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the same equation. Your percentage increase, which is 12 over 100, is equal to the difference of your population between 2015 and 1980 divided by the population in 1980, which is X. Basically, when you talk about the percentage increase and decrease or percentage change, we in the numerator, we subtract the new value and the old value and then divide it by the old value. That's what we're doing. So we cross multiply 12x equals to 100 times this. That's going to give us this minus 100x. So now we bring the 100x to the other side and add that to 12x. So 112x over here. And divide that by 112. That is going to equal 627,500. That is your population of the city in 1980. The table shows the population and area of some countries. Work out how many more people live in Bahrain than in Maldives. Give your answer in standard form. So let's highlight the information first. Bahrain is this, and this is Maldives. So what we're going to do is, we're going to subtract both the populations and see how much more Bahrain is compared to Maldives. 1.54 times 10 to the power of 6 minus 3.92 times 10 to the power of 5. So we take 10 to the power of 5 common. So 1.54 times 10 minus 3.92, which will equal to 10 to the power of 5 times 11.48, which in standard form is going to be 1.148 times 10 to the power of 6. Because you move the decimal one place to the left, and that adds a power to the 10 base. So 5 becomes 6. The population density of a country is the number of people per square kilometer. Which of these countries has the highest population density? Show how you decide. So what we can do is we can find the population density of each of these countries. Or the shortest way can be that we convert the area into powers of 10. So basically what I mean is that 148 times 10 to the power of 3, 76 times 10, 298 as it is, and 104 times 10 to the power of 2. Population density is found by dividing the population by the area in kilometers square. So if we divide 10 to the power 8 by 10 to the power of 3, we would have 10 to the power of 5 over here. 10 to the power of 6 divided by 10 would be 10 to the power of 5 again. 10 to the power of 5 remains the same. And 10 to the power of 6 divided by 10 to the power of 2 would be 10 to the power of 4. So we know Lebanon is out of our options because you want the highest population density. Now, if we compare these three, 3.92 times 10 to the power of 5 divided by 298 is going to be this, 1315.4. Then for Bahrain, 1.54 times 10 to the power of 5 divided by 76 is 2026.3. And then for Bangladesh, 1.63 times 10 to the power of 5 divided by 148 is 1101.3. So as we can see, Bahrain has the highest population density. Thus, Bahrain. Question number 2 says triangle A, triangle B, and line R are drawn on the grid. Write down the equation of line R. So as you can see, line R is passing through x equals to 2. And since it's like a vertical line, just passing to x equals to 2. So that's going to be the equation. X equals to 2. Then says draw the image of triangle A after reflection the line R. So since it's a reflection, so the image is going to be symmetrical. So if we have 1, 2, 3 boxes over here, 1, 2, 3 boxes over here, 1 point over here, and 1 here. Since it's a reflection, it's going to be a mirror image in the line x equals to 2. So this is our answer. Then it says, describe fully the single transformation that maps triangle A onto triangle B. So if you look at triangle A and triangle B, we can clearly see that it's a 90-degree rotation, but this rotation is an anti-clockwise one because we're going in this direction. So 90-degree anti-clockwise rotation, and our center is 0, 0. The equation of line L is 4y equals to x minus 5. Find the gradient. So what we'll do is we'll make y the subject and convert it into slope-intercept form, which is y equals to mx plus c. So that's going to be x over 4 minus 5 over 4. Since the coefficient of x is our gradient, so gradient of line L is 1 over 4. Then it says find the coordinates of the point where the line crosses the y-axis. So we will put x equals to 0 because they're asking us to find the y-intercept. So y equals to 0 over 4 minus 5 over 4, which is negative 5 over 4. Hence the coordinates are 0 and negative 5 over 4. Alternate method was that you could have just highlighted the coordinate from the slope-intercept form, which is this value of c. So that's negative 5 over 4 and x would have been 0. A is the point 4, 5. B is the point negative 2 and 8. Find the length of AB. So your distance formula is square root of y2 minus y1 whole square plus x2 minus x1 whole square. So what we're going to do is we're going to just substitute our coordinates in this. That's going to be 8 minus 5 whole square plus negative 2 minus 4. 8 minus 5 is 3, so 3 square plus negative 6 square. And that's going to give us square root 45, which is equal to 6.71. Find the equation of the line AB. Give your answer in the form of y equals to mx plus c. So to find the equation of line B, let's write the coordinates first. A is 4, 5, and B is negative 2 and 8. So let's start with finding the gradient, which has the formula of y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So our values are going to be 8 minus 5 over negative 2 minus 4, which is 3 over negative 6, and that equals to negative 1 over 2. We have the gradient and we can pick any of these points and use this formula y minus y1 equals to m times x minus x1. So we're going to substitute the points and the gradient in this equation. I'm going to pick point A. So y minus 5 equals to negative 1 over 2 times x minus 4. You can also use point B. There's no restriction. Like you're going to get the same answer from both of these points. So y minus 5 times 2, because I want to get rid of the fraction, and negative x plus 4, because I multiply the negative sign with x and with negative 4. So we get 2y minus 5 equals to negative x plus 4. 2y equals to negative x plus 4 plus 5. That's 2y equals to negative x plus 9. And we can rewrite this equation as y equals to negative 1 over 2x plus 9 over 2. Question 4 says, these are the first 5 terms of a sequence, 5, 12, 19, 26, and 33. Find the next term. So as you can see, if you look at the terms between the first two terms, there's a difference of 7. Between the second and third term, there's a difference of 7. Again, there's a difference of 7. So we're adding 7 to each consecutive term. So that means next term would be 33 plus 7, which is equal to 40. Then it says find expression for the nth term of the sequence. So for the nth term, always start with finding the common difference. If you found the common difference, multiply the common difference by n. So that's going to be 7n. Now, if we compare 7n and find the first term through 7n, we get 7 times 1, which is 7. Now, this 7 is not the same as the first term over here, which is 5, which means to turn 7 into 5, we have to subtract 2. So now let's find the first term again. 7 times 1 minus 2, that's 5. Let's try finding the fourth term. That's going to be 7 times 4 minus 2, which is 28 minus 2, and that's 26. And that's the same as what we have in the sequence. Hence, 7n minus 2 is our nth term. tk and tk plus 1 are consecutive terms of the sequence. The sum of these two terms is 703. Find the value of k. So we're going to use our same nth term, 7n minus 2. tk is going to be 7k minus 2. And tk plus 1 is going to be 7 times k plus 1 minus 2, which is 7k plus 7 minus 2. And that's 7k plus 5. So since the sum of these two, tk plus tk plus 1 equals to 703, so we're going to do 7k minus 2 plus 7k plus 5 equals to 703. That's going to be 14k plus 3 equals to 703. 14k equals to 703 minus 3, which is 700. So k is going to be 700 divided by 14, and that is going to equal to 50. Part B says an expression for the nth term of a different sequence is n squared plus an plus b. The first term of the sequence is 3. The third term is 19. Find the sixth term of the sequence. So T1 is 3, which means T1 would be 1 square plus a times 1 plus b. And that's 3 equals to 1 plus a plus b. And that's 3 minus 1. And that's 2 equals to a plus b. That is our first equation. Trying to find the third term. T3 is 3 square plus a times 3 plus b. So that's 19 equals to 9 plus 3a plus b. 19 minus 9 equals to 3a plus b. And that's 10. That is your second equation. So I'm going to make a the subject in this. So 2 minus b equals to a. And I'm going to substitute 3 in 2. That's going to be 10 equals to 3 times 2 minus b plus b. There's no 1 second restriction to substitute a. You can even make b the subject and substitute that in the equation. So that's going to be 10 equals to 6 minus 3b plus b. 10 minus 6 equals to negative 2b. 4 equals to negative 2b, which means b is negative 2. So if b is negative 2, I'm just going to erase this part over here. A was 2 minus b. So a is going to be 2 minus negative 2, and that is 4. So now we substitute these in the original nth term, which is n squared plus 4n minus 2 now, because a is 4 and b is negative 2. I find the sixth term, 6 squared plus 4 times 6 minus 2, and that is going to equal 58. Question 5 says this is part of a bus timetable, and it says that work out how long the bus takes to get from the town square to the business park. So from town square, which is basically this thing, and business park. So from 6:30, if we go to 7, that is 30 minutes. From 7, it's going to then 7:16. So that is another 16 minutes. So if we add 30 and 16 minutes, that is 46 minutes. This is what we do. Then Tom arrives at the railway station at 7:12. He gets on the next bus to the airport. Find the time he arrives at the airport. So if he's arriving at the railway station at 7:12, so this is where he is. Coming to the station at 7:12, so the next train is going to leave at 7:28. So if he leaves at 7:28 on the airport, he's going to reach at 8:15, which is this. 160 workers at the business park are asked the time taken in minutes for the journey to work. The results are shown in the cumulative frequency diagram. We have to find the number of workers whose journey took less than 30 minutes. So this is 30. So less than 30 is going to be between 20 and 0. There are five boxes. So one box is equal to 4 units. So over here we have 44, 48, 52. So I think it's going to be like between 55 to 57. So I'm going to choose 55 for this. These are the number of people that took less than 30 minutes. Then the interquartile range. For the interquartile range, we need the upper quartile and the lower quartile. So upper quartile is going to be 3/4 of 160, which is going to give us 120. So we need to find the 120th value. And for the lower quartile, we do 1/4 of 160, which is going to give us 40. So we need to find the 40th value. So when we do that, this is your 120. And then the 40th value. So the 120th value is 54, and the 40th value is 22. So interquartile range is going to be the difference of these two values, and that's going to equal 32. The percentage of workers whose journey took longer than 1 hour. So that's going to be longer than 60 minutes. So at this point, the value is 132. So for percentage of people who took longer than 1 hour or like 60 minutes, we're going to do 160 minus 132. Why? Because we're trying to find these people who took longer than 60, not less than 60. So we subtract 132 from 160 and divide that by 160 and times 100 because we're trying to find a percentage. That's going to equal 17.5%. Chen's journey to work at a distance of 37 kilometers correct to the nearest kilometer. His journey on Monday takes 43 minutes correct to the nearest minute. Calculate the lower bound of the average speed for this journey. So since we're trying to calculate the lower bound for the average speed, so what we will do is the distance will be lower bound. LB is for lower bound. And your time would be upper bound. Why? Because they want the lower bound for average speed. LB is lower bound. UB is upper bound. So for the degree of accuracy for distance, that's going to be 1 divided by 2, which is 0.5. So lower bound would be 37 minus 0.5. Since it's lower bound, so we subtract the degree of accuracy from the measurement. So that's going to be 36.5 kilometers. And for your time, your degree of accuracy is to the nearest minute. So we do 1 over 2 again. That's 0.5. So upper bound of time would be 43 plus 0.5, which is 43.5 minutes. So I'm going to substitute these values over here. 36.5 divided by 43.5. I'm going to multiply 60 with this. Why? Because we're trying to find it in kilometers per hour. And this time is in minutes. So when we solve that, we will get 50.34 kilometers per hour. That is your answer for this. Question 6 says ABCD is a rectangle with area 30 centimeters square. AB is x centimeters and rectangle DEFG is removed from the corner of the rectangle ABCD. AE is equal to CG, which is equal to 2. So this is equal to 2. So that means this would be x minus 2. Write down an expression for BC in terms of x. So since the rectangle ABCD has an area of 30, so that's going to be AB times BC. AB is given as x. So which means 30 divided by x is your BC. That is the expression. Then it says, show that the shaded area y centimeter square is given by y equals to 2x plus 60 over x minus 4. So we just wrote that this measurement is 30 over x, which means ED would be 30 over x minus 2. So if we find the area, I'm going to call this A1, and the bigger shape, this is A2. So y is basically going to be the difference of A2 and A1. So area of A1 is going to be 30 over x minus 2, which is ED times x minus 2, which is DG. So A1 is ED times DG. This is very important. So I'm just gonna highlight this so that you know what we're doing. So going back to this, expand the bracket, 30 over x times x minus 2 times 30 over x minus 2x plus 4. So that's going to be 30 minus 60 over x minus 2x plus 4, which is 34 minus 60 over x minus 2x. So now when we find the difference of A2 and A1, A2 is 30. So 30 minus 34 minus 60 over x minus 2x, that's going to be 30 minus 34 plus 60 over x, because minus times minus is positive, and again plus 2x. 30 minus 4 is minus 4 plus 60 over x and plus 2x, which is the same as the equation given in the question. C says complete the table for y equals to 2x plus 60 over x minus 4. Write your answer correct to one decimal place. So we substitute 14 into the equation. So 2 times 14 plus 60 over 14 minus 4. And that is going to give you 28.3. Then it says draw the graph of y equals to 2x plus 70 over x minus 4 for 2 to 14 values of x. So I'm going to write the coordinates separately first. So we have 2 and 30, 3, 22, 4, 19, 6, 18, 8, 19.5, 10 and 22, 12 and 25, and 14 and 28.3. So now let's plot these. 230 is going to be over here. 322 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's going to be in the middle over here. And 22. So that is over here. Then 419. 1, 2, over here. That's 419. Then 618. 8, 19.5. So this is 19, this is going to be 19.5. That's 8, 19.5. Then 10, 22. That is 10, 22. Then 12, 25. So I'll just bring this line over here. That is your point. And 14, 28.3. It's going to be somewhere over here. Yeah. So these are your, you join these. That is your best graph that I can make. And then it says, okay. The shaded area is 24 centimeters square. The length of AB is less than the length of BC. Use your graph to find the dimensions of rectangle ABCD. So we draw a line at 24. That's going to be, one length is this. One is this and the other is this. So what we have over here is two lengths, which are going to be x equals to 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 11. One is 11.2 centimeters and the other is 2.2, 2.4, 2.5 centimeter. So these are dimensions for the rectangle ABCD. Then it says simplify 7a minus 4b minus 2a plus b. So we're going to do 7a minus 2a and minus 4b plus b, which is going to be 5a minus 3b. Then it says expand and simplify. So for that, what we'll do is we'll multiply the terms outside the bracket with the terms inside the bracket. That's 3 times 2x plus 3 times negative 3 plus 5 times x plus 5 times 2. That's going to be 6x minus 9 plus 5x plus 10. 6x plus 5x is 11x minus 9 plus 10 is plus 1. To solve this quadratic equation, I'm going to use the quadratic formula. Negative b plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac over 2a. Why? Because it already says that give your answer correct to 2 decimal places. So just directly resort to the quadratic formula and use that. A is going to be 6, which is the coefficient of x squared. B is negative 2, coefficient of x, and C is negative 9. So just substitute those. Minus negative 2 plus minus square root of negative 2 whole square minus 4 times 6 times negative 9 divided by 2 times 6. And that's going to give you 2 plus minus square root of 220 divided by 12, which will be 2 plus minus 14.83 over 12. So one value would be 2 plus 14.83 over 12, which equals to 1.40. And the other would be 2 minus 14.83 over 12, which is going to be negative 1.07. That's your answer. Write as a single fraction its simplest form. So whenever we're dividing fractions, we take the reciprocal of the second fraction and change division to multiplication. So x over 4 times y over 2, which is xy over 8. Then it says 3 over x minus 5 minus 7 over 2x plus 1. We'll multiply the first fraction by 2x plus 1 so that we have equal denominators. And we'll multiply the second fraction by x minus 5. And as you can see, that gives us the same denominators. And now we can easily subtract the numerators. That's going to be 6x plus 3 minus 7x plus 35 over x minus 5 times 2x plus 1. Why it's negative 7x plus 35? Because we're multiplying the negative sign with x and minus 5 as well, not just 7. So that's going to be minus x plus 38 over x minus 5 times 2x plus 1. A group of 40 children are each asked how many books they read last month. The table shows the results. Write down the mode. So the mode is always your highest frequency. And if you look at these values, highest frequency is for number of books which are 1. So that means our answer is going to be 1. Then it says find the median value. So since there are 40 children in total, let's start adding the frequency. 7 plus 11 is 18. 18 plus 9 is going to be 27. Now median is the middle value, which means if we divide 40 by 2, which is total frequency, that's 20. And as you can see, when we jump from 7 to 11, we have a total of 18. And 11 to 9 is a total of 27, which means 20 is going to lie in this bracket. So our median value is 2. Always remember that the median value and the mode value, they aren't the frequency values, they're the other value, the x value. It says calculate the mean. So for the mean, this is x and this is f. Mean value is sigma fx divided by sigma f. Sigma fx is your sum of the product value of these two, and sigma f is your sum of frequency, which is 40 in this case. So if you write this down, 0 times 7 plus 1 times 11 plus 2 times 9 plus 3 times 5 plus 4 times 6 and plus 5 times 2. And all of this is divided by 40, which is the number of frequency. So when you solve that, that's 0 plus 11 plus 18 plus 15 plus 24 plus 10 over 40. And that's going to give you a final value of 1.95. One of the 40 children is chosen at random. Find the probability that this child read 4 or more books and give your answer as a fraction in its simplest form. So for 4 or more books, that's these two. So that's 6 plus 2 over 40. That is 8 over 40, and that can be simplified to 1 over 5 because 8 times 5 is 40. Part B says there are 10 books on a shelf. 7 of the books are fiction and 3 are non-fiction. Sanjay takes a book from the shelf at random, looks at it and replaces it. He then takes another book from a shelf at random, looks at it and replaces it again. Find the probability that one of the books is fiction. So what we're going to do is, one of the books is supposed to be fiction and the other is non-fiction. So for fiction, that's 7 over 10. And for non-fiction, that's 3 over 10. So we do 7 over 10 if we take a fiction book first and then a non-fiction next, or if we take a non-fiction first and a fiction next. So that's 21 over 100 plus 21 over 100, which is 42 over 100, and that's going to equal 21 over 15. So just remember, like there are two cases. Either he takes the fiction first and the non-fiction later, or he takes the non-fiction first and then the fiction later. Then Mona takes 3 books from the 10 books on the shelf at random without replacement. Find the probability that only one of the books she takes is fiction. So if one of the books is fiction, so wait, fiction is 7. Fiction is 7 and non-fiction is 3. So she's taking 3 books and this time without replacement. So that means the total number will change now. And we have to find the probability that only one of the books she takes is fiction. So if one of the books she's taking is fiction, that means we have 7 over 10 times 3 over 9 times 2 over 8. Why? Because she's taking one of the books as fiction. So this is just one of the cases. Now the placement can once again change. Or we take the non-fiction first. So 3 over 10. And then we have 2 over 9. And then we have 7 over 8. Or we take the non-fiction first. Then we take the fiction. And then again, we take the non-fiction. So these 3 cases give us the same thing, one fiction, another non-fiction, without replacement. So if we add these up, 7 times 3 times 2 is 42 over 720 plus 42 over 720 and 42 over 720. So 42 times 3 is 126. And if we simplify this, 126 divided by 720 is 7 over 40. Question 9 says the diagram shows a triangular prism. AB is 6 centimeters, angle BAC is 5, and the length of the prism is 20 centimeters. The area of the triangle ABC is 34.4 centimeters square. Calculate the volume. Volume is basically cross-section area times your height. So over here, cross-section area is 34.4 times the height, which is 20. Cross-section area, if I highlight, is basically this thing that we talk about. If you cut the shape into slices, the area that you get for each cross-section is the cross-section area. So 34.4 times 20 is basically equal to, that's 688 centimeter cube. Then show that AC is 14, correct to 3 significant figures. So to prove that AC is 14, we need to find this length. And this is the shape that we're focusing on, this non-right angle triangle. So if you remember the formula, area equals to 1 over 2 A times B times sine of angle C. So basically, this formula is applicable when you have 2 lengths and the angle between them. So over here, we have one length and we're trying to find the other length. And we do have the angle between them. And we have the area as well. So 34.4 equals to 1 over 2 times 6 times x times sine of 55. So when we solve that, we do 34.4 times 2 over 6 times sine of 55. And when you plug it in the calculator, you would get 13.9 centimeters. And we round it to the nearest centimeter, that's 14. Next part says calculate the surface area of the prism. So to calculate the surface area of the prism, we need to first figure out what lengths we have. We have this 14. So this is also 14. This is 20. This is 6. And this is also 20. So what we're missing is the length of BC. That's what we need to find. To find the length of BC, what we'll do is we'll use the cosine rule. So that's going to be B square equals to AB square plus AC square minus 2 times AB times AC times cos of angle A. So if you plug this in, BC square equals to 6 square plus 14 square minus 2 times 6 times 14 times cos of 55. That's going to give us 36 plus 196 minus 2 times 6 times 14 times cos of 55. We multiply all of them together. So that's 96.36. Add them up. So 36 plus 196 minus 96.36. That's 135.64. Take the square root on both sides. And that is going to give you 11.64 centimeter. So now we're going to use this to find the total surface area. That's 11.64. So I'm going to erase this now. So total surface area is going to be 20 times 11.64 plus 20 times 6 plus 20 times 14 and then plus again 34.4 times 2. This is for the area of the triangles. And are we missing out anything? No. So now if we add all of these up, that's going to be 232.7 plus 120 plus 280 and plus 68.8, which adds up to a total of 701.5 centimeter square. That is your total surface area. The diagram shows a cuboid with square base. The height of the cuboid is 8 centimeter and the volume of the cuboid is 98 centimeter cube. Calculate PQ. So since we know that it's a square base, volume of a cuboid is your area times height. Again, same thing that we did in the previous part. So area is a square base, so x square, I'm going to call these x times 8, and that equals to 98. So 98 divided by 8 is x square. And then we take the square root of this to get rid of the square on x. That's going to be 3.5 centimeter. That is x. So now what we do is we find this, because we're trying to find the length of PQ. So if you find this length, then you have a complete right angle triangle with one unknown. So I'm going to call this y. Y equals to square root of 3.5 square plus 3.5 square. Why? Because it's also a right angle. So we can apply Pythagoras. So that's going to give us 4.95 centimeters. After this, we're going to find PQ again using Pythagoras. PQ square equals to 8 square plus 4.95 square. PQ is going to be the square root of this. And that is going to leave us with 9.41 centimeter. That is PQ. Question 10 says the diagram shows a circle center O with diameters AC and BD. Show that triangle OAB is congruent to the triangle ODC. Give a reason for each statement you make. So firstly, vertically opposite angles are equal. Vertically opposite angles are equal. Hence, angle AOB is equal to angle DOC. That is your first point. Then next we will say that AC is equal to BD. Why? Because of the diameters, which means OA is equal to OC equal to OB equal to OD, because they're all the radius. So this is equal to this, equal to this, equal to this. So since we have two lengths equal and an angle equal, so we can say side angle side. This congruency theorem shows that both these triangles AOB and DOC are congruent. Diameter of the circle is 10 centimeters and AB is 9. Calculate the difference between the circumference of the circle and the perimeter of the shaded shape. So I'm gonna just draw this shape over here so that we don't have to just keep on going back. Yep. This is A, this is B, O, this is D, this is C. So they're saying that the diameter is 9, which means, sorry, the diameter is 10, which means this is 5, this is 5, 5, and 5. This is 9, and this is 9. Circumference is going to be 2 pi r. So that's 2 times pi times 5, which is 10 pi. If I write that as a decimal, 31.42 centimeters. Then the perimeter of the shaded region. So shaded region was this this thing. So the shaded region. We can find this angle over here. This angle. How we can find these two angles? If we look at this triangle, I'm going to draw that separately as well. This is a triangle that I'm talking about. DOC. So we know that this is 5, this is 5, and this is 9. And we need to find this angle. We have 3 lengths and we have to find one of the missing angles, which means we can use the cosine rule. So the cosine rule for this would be 9 square equals to 5 square plus 5 square minus 2 times 5 times cos of angle O. So that's 81 equals to 25 plus 25 minus 50 cos of O. 81 minus 50 divided by minus 50 is cos of O. So let's solve that. That's negative 0.62. So now what we'll do is we'll take the cos inverse of this to find angle O. Cos inverse of negative 0.62 is 128.32. So now that we have angle AOB, we can find angle AOD. AOB is 128.32. So angle AOD will be 180 minus 128.32, which is going to give us 51.68. So to find the arc length of AD and BC, we will do 51.68 divided by 360 times 2 pi r, which is 5. So when we solve that, we get 4 0.51 centimeter. So the difference of the circumference, that's going to be 31.42 minus the perimeter of the shaded. So perimeter of the shaded shape is going to be 2 times 4.51, which is these arcs AD and BC, minus AB and DC, 9 times 2. So when we do that, what we get is 4.4 centimeter. That is your answer.